HVAC with Stephen Raridan is sponsored by TruTech Tools. Quality tools, essential support. TruTechTools.com.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. For this series, what I'm hoping to do is give you a walkthrough of how things have changed for me through my last 10 years or so, and how I have hopefully learned methods at repairing house problems. So I'll get into a little bit of our history here and see where that goes. I moved to North Carolina back in 2005, and at that point I was a new construction installer. That was my primary role at that time, and I was hoping to move towards residential replacement and repair, because new construction tends not to pay very well, and I was looking for a better paycheck. So 2005 was a long time ago, but I was learning. I was transitioning from new construction installer to residential change-out installer, residential, well, that was where I was. So residential change-out installer. Through that process, I learned some things about troubleshooting, because if my new system happened to have something that wasn't quite right, you're the installer, and it's a lot simpler if you figure it out rather than sitting around and waiting for a service technician to come in. So I continued my education through that time frame. In 2007, my wife and I bought the house that we are in still, and I was really excited to do something different with the HVAC. So at the time, I had been working for a Carrier system dealer, and I knew that the Carrier Infinity systems were some of the best communicating options at that point. So I had every intention of putting a Carrier Infinity system in my house. By the time I left that company, I wasn't uninterested in Carrier, but I had begun working for a Lennox dealer, and I was seeing the latest and greatest that Lennox was offering at that point. And so it was seemingly logical to consider Lennox equipment, because I get a dealer discount especially. So I had picked out my dream system with the Lennox units, and I think it was XP19 was the 19 SEER air conditioner or heat pump for the XP. And then I think I was going to go for a G61 something or other. But I didn't get to change the equipment while working for that Lennox dealer. The day we moved in, I told the wife that I was going to replace the system very soon. It actually ended up taking 8 or 9 years before I actually replaced it. So 2007 to sometime in 2015, I think. So 7, 8 years. By the time I actually did get around to replacing it, you, as some of my classic legacy subscribers, were aware of what I was dealing at that point. And at that point, I was working for a company that sold Trane equipment. And I definitely liked that the most. Back in 2007, Carrier had the Infinity. I don't remember when it was that I decided on the Lennox, but they had something different between 2007 and 2015. But the XV Train American Standard equipment was the top of the line equipment at that time. And so it made sense to me to get the best that I could get with my dealer pricing. So we went with XV. One of the things that I wasn't as familiar with at that time, I may go so far as to say I didn't know anything about it, realistically, but I assumed that the existing system capacity was the capacity necessary for that house. But I actually had a preview into what I now understand better. And that was when I tested my new system and I found 0.9 inches of static pressure at high speed. But at the time, the excuse was, well, it's variable capacity and a variable speed blower. It'll hardly ever run at top speed. And to be honest, it rarely has. Through learning some things about load estimation and duct design and home performance and stepping into the building science world a little, I have recognized that I'm underducted and over capacity in my own house. So I am due for a dealer price system purchase, or I'm eligible for it. So in preparation for considering a new system, despite the fact that mine's only from 2015, I'm almost at 10 years, I have decided to take some measurements on my house, understand the deficiencies in my house, so that we can actually build towards solving real problems that others in my market have, other people, potential clients, so that I have a first-hand good understanding of how to fix these particular problems. So that's the purpose of this series. It's a bit long-winded, I guess, but hey, that's kind of what you signed on for when you came to watch my videos, whether you knew it or not. So we're going to set up that kind of progression through the next several videos that we put out, and we'll try to figure out how to make each video sensical on its own, but obviously we'll tie together things that we're seeing now with things that I've learned improperly before, as well as solutions to those problems, if we can manage to pull that together. So, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and share, and we will see you on the next video. Peace. For our first test on my house, what we're going to do is a blower door test. We have set up the door and we've got our baseline for interior and exterior pressure. And we are using the Retrotec Smart Cloth, which helps with wind dampening, so that interior pressure is not greatly affected by wind as far as the recorded baseline. So we've got our baseline. We're ready to pull the cover off of the blower, and then we're going to hit start on the machine. So that test comes out as a fail because my target was square footage being equal to leakage. And as the test came, we're a few feet over, about 105, I guess, 105 CFM over the square footage of the house, which is by definition a fail based on the parameter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set the door up to run at 50 again, so that we can now go through and take zonal pressure readings in my house and get those recorded as well.